Welcome to this presentation about the University of Siena Liaison Office. In the coming minutes, I'm going to present to you the main activities and the main interests of the office. So first of all, let's start a little bit with some history. The Industrial Liaison Office of the university was created in 1998. And the idea back in that time was to facilitate the circulation of the results, both from an academic perspective, also for an entrepreneurial perspective, based upon the research made at the University of Siena in all the departments. First of all, the Liaison Office is responsible for managing the transfer of the technology, and when dealing with this, of course, we are thinking about patents, but also about spin-off companies and anything related to student entrepreneurship. So both in terms of courses and also in terms of help we can give to them. For this reason, we have a quite big number of startups and spin-offs in comparison to, of course, the size of our university. And if we sum them, we have around 36 of them. Basically 34 spin-off and 2 startups. When we consider spin-off and startups, we are dealing with companies that were funded by professors and or researchers of the University of Siena, together with some students, PhD students as well, and other researchers and people also not from the University of Siena. So that's why we consider these an important asset, because in this way we can profit. I mean, not the university, but the companies can profit from the research. So we can transfer the theoretical research into something real and concrete. Those spin-off and startups, together with the departments of the university, were received almost to have projects funded by the European Union, from the Italian government and the Tuscany region as well during the past 10 years. So here you find a list of the spin-offs of the University of Siena. As you can see, I mean, here we have just reported the name of those spin-offs with very brief discussion, basically just 2 words in order to describe the area of interest. But you can, of course, find a full list in the web page of the University of Siena if you search for spin-offs. As you might see from these slides, we have lots of spin-offs within the life science area, being life science an area in which the University of Siena carries out lots of research, but also a lot of technology transfer, as we'll also see when discussing about patents. But life science is not the only area in which we are able to transfer our knowledge, because engineering is also part of this, but if you consider the information technology, generally speaking, but also if you consider how you can apply some systems from the engineering department into other sectors. Not only life science and engineering, but also agribusiness, We have one of them, for example, a couple of them in terms of mixing engineering and agribusiness, and also cultural heritage. Being cultural heritage is something quite important in Italy, I would say, and definitely important in Siena, so where the university is based, is of course crucial for us to perform some researches and then to transfer what we learn from research into something concrete, so archaeology, cultural heritage, and others. I also told you that we consider, in the University of Siena, we consider spin-off and startups those funded by professors and full researchers at the university. But of course, as you know, entrepreneurship is also about student entrepreneurships. So that's why we offer courses. So courses both for students in the Department of Economics and Business, so the School of Economics and Business, but also courses for all the students of the university. So for students from other fields that would like to learn a little bit more about entrepreneurship, or that might have an idea of starting a new company. So we help them from the academic point of view, so like teaching, but also by offering them some free consultant services. In the recent years, we offer almost 40 hours for more than 100 students, and these led to the born of around 13 startups funded by students. Okay, so those 13 startups, most of them, so more than 10 of them, are not included in the list of spin-off and startups I showed you before. So basically this one, because they are like startups funded by students or former students of the University of Siena that wanted to develop an idea that had some roots in their degree, but also received some help from our office. How can we also deal not only with internal technology transfer, but also like transforming some research into startups and spin-off, or transforming some brilliant idea of students into startups? Usually, a path we have is to take part in some regional clusters. So we are directly involved together with other universities and research centers from Tuscany in regional clusters. And in some of them, we will have a leading role. If you consider, for example, the cluster about life science, which is also based in Siena, and where lots of our former students, current students, researchers, PhD, and also professors are directly involved. But the cluster of life science is not the only one. We are involved in almost all the clusters of our areas of interest. So basically all the departments we have are involved in some regional clusters and national technological clusters as well. Here we have listed the main one, and as you can see, of course, we do have life sciences, as I told you, we do have agri-food, but also other clusters. So from aerospace to made in Italy, cultural heritage, I already told you how important is it for us, technologies for the environment, or for smart communities, and many, many others. And how are we involving them? Well, in several ways, both in terms of the number of people, so mainly professors and researchers involved in this, or in helping and supporting what the technological clusters propose, so therefore in all the events they organize, and also in the transfer of knowledge among all the participants and also outside the clusters. There is another way we can perform our job, which is basically to try to involve companies more in our field. So the joint research laboratories are the perfect tool for this. What are those laboratories about? So basically we have some labs, which might be physical or just like ideal one. So not something physical, but something about the organization, where we mix the knowledge of some groups or of some departments, generally speaking, with the practical knowledge of companies which are interested in a specific issue. So in this way, there is like usually companies that have like high knowledge in something, and they want to research and develop something specific, or they want to carry out some mixed research about issues that are important for them, also important for the society, for all the shareholders, stakeholders, generally speaking, and so on. And here, for example, we have the 9 main labs we already have. We are signing other agreements, and we'll soon have at least 3 more. So in the coming 2 months, we are like increasing the number of our joint research laboratories up to 12. And here the laboratories labs are about almost any main field we have. So from artificial intelligence, for example, but also life sciences in terms of vaccines or antibacterial agents and so on. There is also another one, which is quite rather a peculiar one. It's not included in this list because it's not a joint research lab, but it's a lab within basically all the groups of the research groups of the University of Siena dealing with artificial intelligence. Why is it important? Why I'm telling you this? Because I already told you quite a lot of time about life science. However, it's the first time I'm telling you that artificial intelligence represents one of the cornerstones in the future development of the University of Siena. And this lab is trying to put together all the fields involving this issue. So you might think that, well, of course, it's something about engineering and computer science. Of course, it's about that, but it's also about life science, once again, about law, about management, about many other areas. Also, those you might not immediately refer to artificial intelligence, like agribusiness, but also cultural heritage, literature, and many others. And that's why this lab is not the only, this lab, or for example, Sane Lab or SciLab and others are not the only laboratories that we have. We are also building, and actually it happened, that was formalized in the previous months, a sort of a cluster, so a network of companies and research centers about artificial intelligence based in Siena. So, which is something we are still developing, something we are really keen on developing in the coming years. Before reaching the patent area, I will tell you that there is a more informal way to try to put together students and companies. we call them aperitivo con le imprese. So it's aperitivo, it's an Italian word. It's about having usually time before dinner where you drink something with, usually you do this with friends, but we do this with companies. So as you see here, it's very, very informal. Here is our rectorate, and is the company was presenting the idea, was presenting all the work path about how to reach the success they actually reached. Really very, very good company. And after this presentation, we had this aperitivo, so we were like drinking together with the company, so with the managers and the employees of the companies and the students, also researchers. They have the opportunity to talk informally with entrepreneurs or with managers. So we think it's very, very fruitful, because it's much less informal than conferences, or much less informal than lectures, but it also helps in transferring knowledge from entrepreneurs and managers to students and researchers. So I told you that now we are moving in the patent portfolio. Of course, as a liaison office, as a technology transfer office of the university, we also deal with the patents. And what is our job is, well, to have some internal discussion. Also, we take care of all the external activities. So first of all, we talk with our researchers and other researchers. So researchers not from the University of Siena, but from other universities, research centers, or companies all around the world, in order to have a prior art research on the invention disclosures, in order to then move to the next step, which is like sort of an external one. So after the patent committee, it's a committee we have here, and the board of director. So we first have a step of internal due diligence, so internal knowledge, and also we try to help researchers in also dealing with this first step. And then we take care of all the other steps. So from dealing with the experts, so helping in the wording of the patents, but also in all the administrative components of this. So the Ufficio Italiano Brevetti e Marchi, if we think about Italy, but the European Patent Office, and so on. So PCT extension, post-PCT, and other. So we are helping our researchers, also researchers and companies from not from the University of Siena, but working with the University of Siena in this. Currently, we have 38 patent families. We have more than 100 titles, and we have 8 agreements in terms of licenses, options, and assignments. So these might be of interest of companies. For example, if someone is like an entrepreneur or a manager or an employee of a company, of course, during this activity, we deal with companies from all over the world, and we want to we would like to present our patent. We would like to present the possible agreements we might have, also licenses, but also options and others, to have a mutual benefit. We usually try to find the best solution for our researchers, but also for the company. So we are more in the idea of transferring technology, because it's something we would like to do. It's something good for the whole society, rather than having only benefits for us without giving out anything. Here is the list of the patent application, the PCT extension, and the post-PCT extensions. So we have quite a nice number of applications and others if you consider that we are not a huge university. However, we can say that, I mean, we are quite good in patenting, and I mean, we, in terms of our researchers, professors, our group, research group and departments are pretty good in this, and we do our best to support them. Well, the areas, sorry, we have, oh, sorry, it is like, the areas are mainly about life sciences and engineering, because now I'm pretty sure you know these. Life science is one of the area in which we have some excellencies, as well as engineering in terms of robotics, mainly applied to medicine. So also it's borderline between engineering and sort of life science. Of course, those are the main area. We also have other patents in other fields, but if we have to point out, the two main areas are definitely life science and engineering. And during for this patent, so we help our researchers, but also we then would like to find partners, new partners for developing patents, for licensing out our patents, or for also have any other kind of agreement that might be of interest of the University of Siena for developing something for like helping companies and other research centers in further developing our patents, or jointly developing our research. So here we have, I mean, the protection strategy. I think I already told you the main thing about these. And how we perform these? Well, we search for fundings. We, as I already told you, we license it. Sometimes we use it for research and grants, or we use our patents for going a little bit further in terms of keep on researching based upon those patents. So that's why might be useful not only for companies, but also for other universities and other research centers all around the world, because many times we have some agreements, or or at least we have some talks and meetings with other research centers and universities around the world, because we think that it's always good to find all the possible way to transfer the technology to do something good for the whole ecosystem and both other research centers and companies as well. What are we receiving? What are we asking to others? Well, if we want to license out the patents, usually we ask for the reimbursements of the cost we sustained before, and for future expenses if you want to maintain these, and sometimes we have some royalties to offer a fair compensation for inventors. So for inventors from the University of Siena, as well as for inventors not from the university, if there are some. So I mean, I almost reached the 30 minutes I was assigned. So I would like to thank you for your attention. Here you find our email is brevetti@unisi.it. So it's written here. And also you find it in the University of Siena website. We are based in Siena in a nice lab we have in the city center. So please feel free to contact us for any question you have. If you want to propose collaboration, if you want to just talk with us for just like more information, curiosity, or anything you'd like to ask. So I finishing here. I don't know if there are like questions from the floor. Please feel free to ask if you wish so. Otherwise, feel free to send me an email or send to brevetti@unic.it an email in the coming days, in coming months, if you want to talk directly with the office or directly with me. So thank you very much.
Hello, Niccolò. I am Piero Pillon. I attended your interesting presentation, and I just want to add, since I see that there is probably an attendant, a Vietnamese attendant, I just wanted to remind that they can get in touch with your office regarding this topic you were talking about, but they also can get in touch with our international office, and I'm writing the email here, internazionale, in the chat. This is the international relations office. If they want some student or company want to get in touch with us, and I remind also that tomorrow at 4:30 in the afternoon in Vietnamese time, there will be a presentation of our programs and student services for other students, and that's all. Thank you for your presentation, Niccolò.
Thank you, Piero. So like, looking forward to receiving emails from you soon. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much for your time and your presentation. It's very helpful for me during my preparations to study in Italy. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your time and your help.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for attending this session.
Yes, have a nice day.
Bye, thank you.
Bye, thanks you.
Yeah.
Grazie, Niccolò.
Grazie a voi.
Yeah, goodbye. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.